So he ain't getting none of that.
I actually didn't want to tell them.
Let's start all over again. John chapter 5, verse 39.
Clearly it ain't working.
But see, the difference is niggas is not ashamed to tell you that they didn't know how to work.
And then he don't want to tell you how to
work. Stand up. You know what I'm saying? I would have got up and did it, but you stood up.
John 5, 39.
If you don't know how to work it, don't stand up. Oh, all right.
Hey, he said he knew what he was doing. He asked for your help. He said you didn't give him.
I get it. I said big silver button.
Obviously, that wasn't sufficient. You know what I'm saying?
It's on the button on the right. And it's on the silver one, too.
And I said, obviously, it didn't help out. You know, let's give praise, glory, and honor to Yahuwah by way of YAHUSHA HaMasyiach. Let's read John 5:39 one more time. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you that you have not the love of Elohim in you. So let's go back and look at Esther 3 and 4 one more time. Because like I said, now I tell you, the brother called me. You know, it's a lot of Israelites say, oh, you can't keep the Sabbath in captivity. You can't keep the feast in captivity. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't read nowhere where they did it. Well, the only person who would say that is an idiot. See, most niggas look for something that say they kept the Feast of Tabernacles in Babylon. You know what I'm saying? That's what they be looking for. So if they don't find something like that, then they say, okay, well, you add to the scriptures, or that's conjunction, all this stuff, instead of just using your brain. Let's look at Esther 3 and 4 one more time. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them. Okay then. That they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matter would stand, for he told them that he was a Yahudim. So now he told him he was a Yahudim, told him he was a Jew. So let's look at Jeremiah 4 and 1. Well, that's how it happens, listen. Go ahead, I called her that thing.
No, she just kind of pushed it down and she fell and then she started crying.
Squeezing her finger.
I'm talking about boy finger get smashed, the little baby thing always end up on her feet. This stuff not working out well for you. Listen. They say, if thou wilt return, O Yasharal, saith Yahuwah, unto me, if thou wilt put away thy abominations out of my sight, thou shalt not remove. Again, as I was telling you, if you be built on the rock, and you take heed to the word and you believe it, then you wouldn't be moved. When you look at a lot of people, and we'll also get Ephesians chapter 4, verse 13, after we look at 1 Peter 5 and 8. Holding this Jeremiah chapter 4 and Esther chapter 3. Come over here to 1 Peter 5 and 8. When you look at most people, you know why they easily move? They say, oh, I used to believe in a Mashiach, now I don't believe in him no more. Or I used to keep the Sabbath, now I don't keep it no more. It's because you never actually put away them abominations. And when I'm talking about abomination, I'm talking about unrighteousness. Deuteronomy 25 say all unrighteousness is abomination. You know what I'm saying? When you sit back looking at a froward heart is a mind that is stubbornly and rebelliously contrary. You consistently and constantly want to be opposite of what is right in the eyesight of y'all. You know what I'm saying? There's no way you're going to be able to not be moved because your heart is not steadfast in the word. Because that's what the word I was looking for. Said steadfast. You know, you get stepped in some quicksand, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be moved. You might sink, but you ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? When we come around and you looking at the word, you shouldn't be moved. You know what I'm saying? Then you also got to take into account of this here too. Because we're going to look at this in Esther and in Daniel. That people who do not keep this man's way is going to come with all manners of ways to try to sway you off of it. I'm telling every last one of y'all, man, when you catch somebody, whether it's with you directly or with your kids, trying to teach them something that's contrary to the way of Yahuwah, that's a salvation matter. That's got to be nipped in the bud and straight and right then and there on the spot. Ain't no let it slide. Ain't no turn it around. Look here. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up and down, especially with your kids. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I don't play by that. And if you're offended by that, your company is no longer required. You know what I'm saying? Because there's one thing if people doing it, because this is salvation. And one of y'all will come to y'all and be like this here, man. Constantly coming at you trying to get you to break the Sabbath or eat some swine or fornicate with them or smoke some weed or get drunk with them. They constantly doing this. and you just let it slide like, all right, man, whatever, whatever. They gonna keep pushing that envelope. You know what I'm talking about? Because they feel like they can do that because they already know the only way they can get at you and to pollute your God's name is to try to get you to go against his law. That's how they came at Daniel now. And y'all we're going to look at it. That's how they came at Daniel. They say the only way we can get him is through the law of his God. That's the only way we're going to get him. So we got to come up with something to make him go against the law of his God so we can have an opportunity to open our mouth against this person. You know what I'm saying? That's what these people be out here doing. And one thing about Satan and his minions, if they can't get you, they'll go after your children. You know what I'm saying? That's what he do. If you look at society as a whole and how things are constructed, they know once you get to a certain age, if they ain't got you, this all right. Everything is always geared towards the youth. Because we at them. If I can't get you, I'm going to get them. Because 9 times out of 10, they figure if I can get the kids can influence you. And then I can get you that way. And if I can't get you through the kids, I try to get you through your woman. You know what I'm saying? That's why I always tell y'all, as harsh as it sounds, the woman is not the threat. Because they want to take down the man. The man's supposed to be leading. So how can I get to you? I got to hit you in your underbelly and your 2 weaker positions, your woman or your children. Because most men will capitulate for their women or their children. And when you say you stand for y'all and you're not going to be moved, and you see that type of stuff coming, that's a negative. That's not going to happen. Try it again, see what happens. Your services will no longer be required in the community. You know what I'm talking about? I know I told her plenty of times. It's a good thing her people don't stay down here. Because they come with that rally, you'll never see my child again. Ever. It's that serious. I'm talking about, and I go for both sides of the thing. I ain't playing on that. It's that serious. It's just that serious. You know what I'm saying? It's just that serious. I don't believe in none of that junk. You're not going to bring that around me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't going to happen. I know you got a hard battle because you got a child that don't stay with you. And especially for some of y'all, you got kids and you seeking the word and the other parent is not. That's a hard battle to fight. You know what I'm saying? Because that child is going to want to lean towards the parent that's going to let them do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They're not going to lean toward the parent that, no, son, nah, baby, ain't no Christmas. You can't, no. Well, where my Christmas Chris at, Daddy? At the store where they ought to be. You know what I'm saying? Well, mama say, I don't care what your mama say. You know what I'm saying?
Mama, you do what you do when you
yeah, you do what I just hear. Because you don't want to speak against their mama, but you like this here. I don't celebrate that. Well, why not, Daddy? Because it's of the devil. But mama say it's Jesus' birthday, as I said. You know what I'm saying? Statement still stands. Some of y'all right now know y'all got family members that know y'all don't celebrate Christmas and try to backdoor bring Christmas gifts to them kids. They say you got a whole 365 days to buy the insurance, son, and you want to wait till December 25th to do it. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole year. I'm talking about you can buy it. Well, it's not right. They gonna feel left out. Shoot, nigga, if you buy them something like you buy them on Christmas year round, they'll never be left out. We'll have too much junk in here. We gotta have a yard sale. But see, they don't look at it like that. Why? Because what we were talking about on Wednesday. Because your slave master told you the man's name was Jesus and Jehovah, and your slave master told you that was his birthday, and your slave master told you this is what you ought to do on this day, and your slave master told you, like, it'd be Hebrew, talking about, man, y'all go too far. Man, Thanksgiving and Christmas is just to spend time with your family. No, it's not to spend time with your family. Because at the end of the day, we worship in the idol God. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And we're going to look at some of these things too, but it's not. I'm not hanging out here. It's not going down. Let me read that first, what is that, 1 Peter 5. This is what he said. Be sober, be vigilant. See, remember that being sober is what? Being business-like, emotionally. That's what y'all got to realize. When your adversary come, man, you got to remove your emotions out to play, man. And man, this, I'm telling you, this is a salvation issue when these people play this here. Especially every last one of y'all that got kids. If you say you desiring salvation, obviously I would hope you would want that for your kids. And you going to let niggas come around there and play them type of games? Ain't going to happen. Don't come around here with that junk. You know what I'm saying? I see right now, boy, I'll kick niggas right out my front door. Wow! You ain't got to pack your bag, throw it on the front yard. We do that nigga like on Fresh Prince. Or you like, oh! I mean, because that's serious right there, because it will confuse the children. It will confuse them. Because you telling me one thing and such telling me this. Or daddy telling me this, mama saying this. Just like you seen an example of that. Y'all did, because the rest of y'all wasn't in here. What did Keisha do? He want that bread. Mom do say you can't get that bread. So he tried to shoot me to look. Well, shoot, I can't do nothing for you. Mom do say no. So then he shoot T to look. She feeling, found me one. Found me one. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what the kid's going to do. I'm going to look to see who it is that's going to let me do what I want to do. If everybody is united, most of the kids, y'all see this happen all the time. I go to mama. Mama say no. I run to daddy. Well, what did your mama say? She said no. What you asked me for, nigga? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Because that's what most little kids do. Really, they'll ask Pops first, because they know Pops going to say no. And then shoot the mom dudes. Mom dudes probably going to say yes. She going to sit back and say, did you ask your daddy? What did your daddy say? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, go on and get it. Then you see him with it. You come through the room. Wow, didn't I tell you not to make? Mama said I could have it. Now you looking at her like, man, you need to talk to me about that. Because I just told this nigga he couldn't have that. Now you've undercut my authority. You know what I'm saying? And now guess what he done learned? I can do stuff to pit them two against one another to get what I want. You know what I'm saying? He churn ain't slow now. They just sit back people. Y'all, like I said, y'all seen that nigga do it because he scanned all three of us too. That nigga looked at Mom Dude and told him no. He looked right at me with the nigga. I don't care how cute you think he look. I can't help it. Why? Because Mom Dukes done said no. I can't go against Mom Dukes. Your mama said no. If I wanted to give you the bread or not, it's irrelevant. Your mama said no. Now every last one of us a time or two you might like that. Don't give him no sweets. You be like this here. You shoot it here, you give him a little crumb and tell your mama, go on. You know what I'm saying? But you know what they end up doing? Trying to come back, get us all busted. You know what I'm talking about? Get us all busted. I tried to sneak you some, and here you come. Now I can't even sneak you no work on the low. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't know how to traffic. 1 Peter 5:8. It say, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walk about seeking whom he may devour, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. But the Elohim of all grace, who have called us unto his eternal glory by Yahushua HaMasyiach, after that you have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. You know, we kind of looked at that last night, didn't we? When we looked at Joseph, right? Because what happened with him? He was called unto his the eternal glory of the Lord. What everything he would do, he was called to do. He was given a vision and shown what he had to do and all of this here. And after he had suffered and endured that suffering for a little while, he was established, he was strengthened, he was settled. You know, the whole time he was in prison, he never lost the faith that Yahuwah would redeem him from that situation. Even when he sat in that cell for 2 years. For 2 years, he never sat around and like, shoot, he gonna come get me. I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about that. It was something else I done forgot. It'll come back to my mind a little bit. Come on back to Jeremiah chapter 4. That's the one key thing we got to sit back and look at, man. Oh, Ephesians chapter 4, verse 11. Thank you, Lord. I know you bring it right. Ephesians 4 and 11. And then we go back to Jeremiah chapter 4. And he gave some apostles and some prophets and some evangelists and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the Kodesh ones, for the work of the ministry, for the instructing of the body of HaMasyiach, till we all come into the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of Elohim, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of HaMasyiach. That we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, carried about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie and wait to deceive. But speaking the truth in love, may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even of Mashiach. See, you know that's what ends up happening? Because you're not rooted and settled, you can get tossed all around. That's the only way, because you're not steadfast. That means you can be moved. That's why I would tell you, come back to Jeremiah chapter 4. That's why people can be moved. That's why these niggas around here screaming about is the earth flat. You know what I'm saying? That's why they're screaming about, oh, he couldn't have been born of a virgin. Or, oh, he couldn't be God. Or he can't be this. Because you ain't never, because the key reason is not the doctrine, but those abominations are still in your heart. Therefore, you can be moved. See, when you got a heart full of wickedness, a heart full of darkness, well, you can be tossed to and fro all manner of ways. You know what I'm saying? We read verse 2, right? In Jeremiah chapter 4. And thou shalt swear, Yahuwah live in truth, in judgment, and in righteousness. And the nations shall bless themselves, and in him shall they glory. So come over here to 1 Corinthians about 14, I want to say. He says, when you put these abominations out of your heart, then you will glory in the Lord. Think about verse 25, I desire. Not 25, my apologies. It's 2 Corinthians chapter 10. And we'll start at about verse 12.
What? Speak up.
2 Corinthians 10 and 12. I know you ain't talking about nobody speaking up, even when your attempt to put bass in your voice was ineffective. And what is that in your mouth? What is that in your mouth, man? I would hope not. This nigga chewing on pencils. This nigga's good. For we dare not make ourselves of the number or compare ourselves with them that commend themselves. But by measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves amongst themselves are not wise. What do you think that he means when he says this?
That means you judging somebody that's just like you among your own group, essentially not looking outside and looking at someone in a sense better than you, not better than you in any kind of way.
This is what he said. You heard he say we don't compare ourselves with them that commend themselves. So what is somebody who commend themselves? Huh? They exalt themselves. Listen to what he say again now. We dare not make ourselves of the number or compare ourselves with some that commend themselves, but they measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves amongst themselves are not wise. So who can we look at you? Who come to your mind when you hear that? Hey, it tripped me out because little buddy, man, the little dude, man, old Ronnie Bobby, Troy homeboy. They say he was around there messing with somebody online, man, and the woman just got on there and say, "Aren't you a homosexual?" Like came for his neck just like that. Like no cut, no chase. He said, "Aren't you a homosexual? Weren't you kicked out of GMS because you like boys?" And they say, "Don't you have a wife?" She said, "How is your wife able to be serviced when you're always on here arguing with people?" You know what I'm saying? Like came out and just went for a whole neck juggler, cut his whole dome out. He is an example of that. So let's look at Luke chapter 14 while we're holding Jeremiah chapter 4, Esther chapter 3, and 1 Corinthians 4, 2 Corinthians chapter 10. And let's look at somebody who comparing themselves with themselves, honoring themselves. Because remember, we started off in John 14 and about Luke 14. Actually, it's Luke 18 and 9. Luke 18 and 9. When you remember, we started off this in John chapter 5. What did the Lord say? I receive not honor from men. So that means he wasn't seeking to commend himself, nor can compare himself and others. Because remember the key thing, say, if you put these abominations away, then you will swear in the name of Yahuwah in judgment and truth and in righteousness, and in him you will glory. Remember, we looked at this last night. He said, I will not give my glory to another. And you see the whole time Yahushua was walking, his glory was in the Father. He never gloried in himself. You know what I'm saying? He didn't, and nor did he compare himself to anybody else. 18 and 9, gentlemen. 18 and 9. And it says, and he spake this parable unto certain which trusted in themselves that they were righteous and despised others. Two men went up into the temple to pray, the one a Pharisee and the other a publican. The Pharisee stood and prayed thus with himself, Elohim, I thank thee that I am not as other men are, extortioners, unjust, adulterers, even as this publican. I fast twice in the week. I give tithes of all that I possess. And the publican, standing afar off, would not lift up so much as his eyes unto Shamahim, but smote upon his breast, saying, Elohim, be merciful to me, a sinner. I tell you, this man went down to his house justified rather than the other. For everyone that exalts himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Now you see this here, this sinner didn't seek to compare himself to anyone. He sought to put his glory in Yah. You know what I'm saying? When you turn around and look at it, when you look at most of the people that some of y'all run across online, they desire the glory in themselves. You know what I'm saying? See, come on back over here to Galatians, I want to say, what? Chapter 6. And about verse 12. You all right? You want to get down? You sleeping? Stop walking on that before your feet get stuck. Galatians 6:12. As many as desire to make a fair show in the flesh, they constrain you to be circumcised, only lest they should suffer persecution for the cross of the Mashiach. For neither they themselves who are circumcised keep the law, but desire to have you circumcised, that they may glory in your flesh. This is the same thing we talked about before. I done told y'all before. What the most Israelites like to glory in? That they know they're an Israelite. That they got fringes on. That they got their penis clipped. That they black. You know what I'm saying? Like I was telling y'all the other day, man. I think I was telling Troy this yesterday. Telling y'all this yesterday. Dudes got mad because Straight Outta Compton made $60 million and ain't nobody gave Umar Johnson the $4 million he wanted to build a school. You know what I'm saying? But is this for the glory of Umar Johnson or is it for the glory of y'all? Just because he said it for the kids don't mean it for the kids. Because this nigga going around the whole country asking people for money. Got GoFundMe page. They say you could have been started a school with a little bit of money you got. So is it about the school and the kids or is it really about you? See, you know, a lot of brothers don't want to look at that question and say, oh, you hating on the man. What's different than what he doing than when Creflo Dollar and the rest of these preachers always ask you for money to build their Christian schools? Because they say it's for the kids too. But you won't give money to him because you don't believe in the Christian doctrine that he teaches. Well, what if I don't believe in the African spirituality doctrine that he teaches? Am I wrong because I don't want to give him my money? Why would I want to send my son to learn about Heru and Horus and Aho and Shaka Zulu and the rest of them niggas? Why wouldn't I want my kids to go to school and they will learn about Abraham? And learn about Isaac, and learn about Jacob, and learn about Judah, and learn about David, and learn about Yahusha, and learn about all his ancestors and his history of his people. I don't care about no African niggas who drink urine. I mean, them niggas bathe in cow urine. You know what I'm saying? They put long things on their neck. They elongate their necks. You know what I'm saying? They worship all manner of idol gods. I don't believe in that. If you want to give your money to that, that's your business. But don't castigate me because I don't want to give mine. Because I don't support what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in that. And I'm telling y'all this here because a lot of black folks got that fake unity. Where you supposed to just unify with everybody just because they black. It don't matter what the cause is. It doesn't matter. Put your disagreements and your doctrines to the side and just unify. And as we already know, Amos 3:3, the word of the Lord tells us this clear as day. Can two walk together except they be agreed? See, that's why we couldn't walk with Yah in the land because we were not agreeing with him. Remember we looked at that last week. We took the liberty that we had as an occasion for the flesh and we wanted to worship other gods and we wanted to play with boy booty and we wanted to sleep with our uncle's wives and we wanted to sleep with our wives on a period. We wanted to eat swine. We wanted to tell lies. We wanted to do all of that. So when we had made that agreement in the 24th chapter of the book of Exodus and said what? All these things we will do, we were no longer in agreement with him for him to walk with us. Therefore, he had to depart from us because we're not agreed. So what did he turn around and do out of his mercy and grace? I'm going to send my son and he's going to walk amongst you to bring you back to me so we can be agreed. Now the only way you can be agreed with Yahuwah is to dwell in his son because you would be walking with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't walk with Horus. I don't walk with Osiris. I don't walk with Odin. I don't walk with Hercules. I don't walk with Thor, Mithras. You know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to think of something of them just escaped my mind because there's so many of them. You know what I'm saying? I don't walk with these people. Bacchus, Tammuz. Like you got some of them say one of our months are named Tammuz. Now you know as a Yahudim ain't nowhere in the world I'm going to call a month after the name of an idol god. You know what I'm talking about? But they, like I said, that's the month of Tammuz. Not for me. It's just the 4th month for me, buddy. Because I ain't calling on no Tammuz, buddy. One thing for certain and 2 things for sure. We know y'all don't rock with no Tammuz. I know a lot of y'all not familiar with who Tammuz is, but he's an old idol god. And they claim his story was like the Lord's. Another dude claimed to be put on a cross. That's why they kind of threw that word cross in there, because they know this man wasn't actually put on no cross, because they know about the Tau cross and the cross that Tammuz was put on and that Egyptian arm. See, they know about all this stuff. They know the law say the man was going to be nailed on a tree. You know what I'm talking about? See, they know this. So that's why they'll slide that stuff in there. They real smooth now. They real crafty. You know what I'm saying? That's why you'll see one place it'll say cross and another place it'll say tree, and you wondering which one it is. Then if you get another translation, it'll say torture stake. Then some it'll just say stake. You know what I'm saying? Either way it good, either way it go, they got some wood and a tree, and took this man, put an arm here, put an arm there, put them feet and put him on it. Not that cross like you see these Christian people walking around with. Because they don't even realize that cross go back to a whole bunch of false deities. And this is where they try to come in and slide in and say that our faith is false. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why they put that T on their forehead on Ash Wednesdays with their stupid self, because they worshiping Tammuz. You know what I'm saying? Them people be in there with all them cross, putting ashes, putting dirt on their forehead. They get that from us because we drop sackcloth and ashes on our head when we were in mourning. You know what I'm talking about? They call themselves in mourning, and then they put the cross of Tammuz across these people's forehead. You know what I'm saying? That's why you actually can read that in the book of Ezekiel, where he say, or Jeremiah, where he talk about the women were weeping for Tammuz. Weeping for Tammuz. This what Israelites were doing. Weeping for a false god. And guess what we see our people did? They did it, even though the story of Passion of the Christ was out this book. You know what I'm saying? The representation, what they gave, they were weeping for Tammuz. When the people came out their movies, boo-hoo crying, doing all that there, they were in actuality weeping for Tammuz. Because now, they going to tell you it's Jesus when they come in there, but in the subtitles, they had the Aramaic form. They had Yahusha up there. You know what I'm saying? I've only seen it once. I never had a desire to see it. My sister pulled it out, and I just wanted to see what name they had in there. Because the movie is in complete subtitles. You know what I'm talking about? Them people are speaking Aramaic in the movie. You know what I'm saying? And in the movie, they got his name in Aramaic on there. So these people know what time it is. But the whole time they were doing it, they wanted to present to you Tammuz. Because if they was going to present to you the true Mashiach, they wouldn't have made that movie that way. They wouldn't have made it at all. You know what I'm saying? Let me read this here, verse 14. But Elohim forbid that I should glory, save in the cross or the tree or the stake of our Lord YAHUSHA HaMasyiach, by whom the world is crucified unto me, and I unto the world. For in YAHUSHA HaMasyiach neither circumcision avail anything, nor uncircumcision, but a new creature. This is why the Lord kept telling these men, you got to be born again. Because see, that's what they wanted to look at. They wanted to compare. All the scribes and Pharisees did is compare themselves to their other homeboys. See, look at John chapter 12, before we come back to 2 Corinthians chapter 2. We still holding Esther chapter 3 and Jeremiah chapter 4. John 12 and about verse 37. But though he had done so many miracles before them, yet they believed not on him, that the saying of Isaiah the prophet may be fulfilled, which he spake, Yahuwah, who have believed our report, and to whom have the arm of Yahuwah been revealed. Now remember we looked at that last night where he say, my right hand spanned the heavens. You know if that's his arm, that's his right arm. And these stupid niggas will tell you that David is the right arm of the Most High. Never once was he ever referred to this at any time. This is the hatred that they have for the Son, which is in turn is the hatred that they have for the Father. Therefore they could not believe, because that Isaiah had said again, he hath blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, that I should heal them. These things saith said Isaiah when he saw his glory and spake of him. Nevertheless, among the chief rulers also many believed on him, but because of the Pharisees they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogue, for they loved the praise of men more than the praise of Elohim. That's why a lot of these dudes go to rejecting the Lord, because they actually esteem the praise of their peers on the internet whom they have never met in the flesh at any time. They say, how you going to esteem the praise of a nigga you ain't never even met? You ain't never smelled his cologne. You ain't never actually heard his voice live and in the same room. Ain't never gave him a dap. Ain't never sat down and ate with him or nothing. But you don't want to get ostracized by some niggas on the internet. Because most of these niggas are riding with dudes that don't even live in their city, much less their state. You know what I'm saying? And this is going back to what? Those abominations. When you sit back and you look at the Lord himself, what did he tell the people in John 15 that he came to do that nobody else did? He didn't sin. He said, I came and did the work and spake the word. If I would have did it, you still would have had it. That means I came to remove them abominations out of you, fulfilling what Ezekiel said, of making you a new heart and a new spirit. Why he told him, man, new wine can't be put in an old bottle. That's why I be telling y'all, that's what some of y'all be trying to do. You try to put new stuff in that old thing. You got to get rid of that stuff. Paul just told you in Galatians 6, man, you got to become a new creature. That stuff got to go away. Old things got to pass away. But there's a lot of stuff that these people don't want to pass away. And this man is, as it says in Isaiah, to lift up a standard amongst the people. You know what I'm talking about? When they sit back and they look up, they don't want to look up at him. Because that means they're going to have to elevate themselves. That carnal behavior, that carnal way of thinking, and all that stuff that they've been doing for all them years, it's going to have to cease. So let's just let me remove him so then they'll come up. No man can die for your sins. Nobody can't be no human sacrifice for sins. But who do we see was a sacrifice for sins amongst the people? That he was killed so sin would stop. Who y'all remember who did that? Who y'all remember who did that? Who was that? What? There was a plague in the camp and a man was killed to stop the plague.
Is this where the earth opened up?
That's Korah, but that's not it. Because it wasn't a plague when Korah was going down. It was a plague in the camp because of their cursed thing. And a man was killed. Huh?
I said he took it and hid it and buried it. And then
that would be Achan. Man from the tribe of Judah. Man was killed to stop. He was a sacrifice for the people. If he don't get killed, the people continue to die. Stop me. Thank you. And that's what it comes down to. What y'all going to look at? Y'all want to praise the men or you want to praise the Most High? You know what I'm saying? You want to be honored from men? He said, how can you believe that seek honor one from another, not the honor that comes from the Most High only? You have to look at it what you desire and what you want. Because if you put these abominations out of your heart, then you can be able to glory in Yahuwah through Yahusha alone. That's it. What's going on? What's going on with? I might have to get a chair for the man. How you doing, Shayla? You know what I'm saying? I mean, seriously though. When you look at most people that you come across, who they glorying in? Are they glorying in man or are they glorying in y'all? Are your friend that left mom? The little boy was driving her crazy. I can tell. 2 Corinthians chapter 10. I seen that there. She was like, well, I'm going to kill this nigga here. She should just let him live a little bit, then let him breathe. He'd have been all right. Huh? Oh. I seen her, boy. She lit him up.
She cut the back of his head like this.
That's old school whooping right there, boy. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't think as young as she is, she'd have that type of skill and technique. Now let me know she know how to sneak him in public. Don't nobody notice. We walking right in the store. Wow! She already gave him that little try me, nigga. You know I hit you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at her. Knock that nigga clean on out. Come on back to 2 Corinthians chapter 10. Knock him out. He won't do it no more. I bet you that. So that's what we see. That's why he say we dare not make ourselves of the number or compare ourselves with them that commend themselves. but they measuring themselves by themselves, comparing themselves amongst themselves, are not wise. See, we supposed to be measuring ourselves against the mark, which is the Lord. That's why he say, examine yourselves whether you be in the faith or not. You know what I'm talking about? See, a lot of people, they ain't examining themselves according to this nigga over here. You know what I'm saying? This nigga over here. Well, you comparing yourself with niggas who just as sour as you are, when you ought to be comparing yourself with the word. Let's look at the next verse say, verse 13 of 2 Corinthians chapter 10. He said, but we will not boast of the things without our measure, but according to the measure of the rule which Elohim have distributed to us, a measure to reach even unto you. For we stretch not ourselves beyond our measure, as though we reach not unto you. For we are come as far as to you, also in preaching the good news of HaMasyiach, not boasting of those things without our measure, that is, of other men's labors. But having hope, when your faith is increased, that we shall be enlarged by you according to our rule abundantly. To preach the good news in regions beyond you, and to not to boast in another man's line of things made ready to our hand. But he that glory, let him glory in the Lord. For not he that commend himself is approved, but who the Lord commend. That's what you've seen in Luke 18. See, that Pharisee commended himself. And the Lord will let it be known. See, you committed yourself. You're not approved. Who is approved? But he that the Lord approved. It don't matter what you say out your mouth. You got to catch yourself in doing that. That's why he say, if you put these abominations out of your heart, then you can come and serve me in truth and righteousness and equity, and your glory will be in me. You know what I'm saying? Come on back to Jeremiah chapter 4. This all this about what we're looking at in the 3rd chapter of Esther, when he came, who Mordecai told him, I am a Yahudim, I am a Jew. So when he said that, all these things you just looked at, my glory is in y'all. You know what I'm saying? My heart is with him. See all them abominate, all that type of stuff? I got that stuff up out of me, man. What's the only thing got it up out of me? I took heed to the word. I heard the word, I believed it. We'll read verse 2 one more time. Jeremiah the 4th chapter. Thou shalt swear, Yahuwah live in truth and judgment and in righteousness, and the nations shall bless themselves in him, and in him shall they glory. Ain't that something he said the nations will bless themselves in this man? But yet they tell you these people ain't got no way in. He say the nations will do it. That sounds plural to me, got an S at the end of it. I just say that because I seen some dude arguing the other day where Acts chapter 13, where Paul say, men of the stock of Abraham and those who fear the Most High, and he was like, well, who is this and? Oh, you trying to say the other nations, so you going to mean to tell me this man going to say those are the stock of the seed of Abraham. You know that ain't referring to nobody but the house of Yasharal and the house of Yehuda, these two houses, the whole house of Israel. And you going to say that and them is Israel too. You know what I'm saying? But that's just that's what we're talking about you haven't put those abominations out of your heart. Regardless of, we know that any sinner is the man going to sin. Man already told you, anybody who has spoiled us and made a prey out of us, they shall be spoiled and they shall be made out of prey. He going to see every last one of them. That's not without question. You know what I'm saying? Even when he came through and smashed Jericho, Rahab wasn't the Israelite he looked out for because she believed. She feared him. She said, now remember now, this is an example of being saved by faith. What law, statutes, and commandments did that woman ever hear of? No. All she said is, I heard about y'all, and I heard about y'all too. I don't want no trouble with that. What do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? Straight up and down. That's all she heard about. Red Sea drowning, kingdoms falling. Whoever that is y'all got walking with y'all, he ain't no joke. I don't want no problems. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no problems. I don't want no problems. She didn't know nothing about no Sabbath. She didn't know nothing about no dietary laws. She didn't know nothing about a feast day. She didn't know nothing about any ordinances, any commandments, none of that. You know what I'm saying? Because remember he said the nations are blessed themselves in, and we know another word for blessed is happy. You know what I'm saying? You turn around and look at Acts chapter 13 to see if these people were happy in this man. Let's just see how these people react. In the 42nd verse. Acts 13 and 42. Let's just see if these people blessed themselves in this man and made themselves happy in this man. we already know when they're coming in, Paul began to preach a Mashiach to these people in the synagogue now. He began to drop Yahusha on these people. Now you got to remember, it's only certain parts of the words that he quoted that's written. You know he mentioned other scripts while he was in there talking to these people. And when the Yahudim were gone out of the synagogue, the Gentiles besought these words might be preached to them the next Sabbath. I'm going to ask y'all a question. They are in Antioch. Is Antioch a land of the Yahudim? Is that a land of Yahshua? This is a land of people who do not follow nothing that Yah does. But yet they're keeping the Sabbath in these people's land. Because obviously, if Yahudim are in Antioch, what state are they in? They're in captivity, and yet they're keeping the Sabbath in captivity. And these stupid niggas say you can't keep the Sabbath in captivity. Where can you read that at? They're keeping it right here. Clear as day. And not only them, but the heathen too. Because the heathen like, what, next week? Man, we want to hear some more of this. You have been waiting to drop that one in. Man, I think you waited on that about 5 minutes. This is what it says. Now when the congregation was broken up, many of the Yahudim and the religious proselytes, what's a proselyte, gentlemen? A convert. Proselyte just means somebody converted. Remember what the Lord told him in Matthew 23? You compass sea and land for one proselyte, for one convert, and make a twofold a child of hell than you are. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is what he's talking about, comparing yourselves with those that are just like you and commending yourselves with people who just like you. Because when these people get you, you're going to be worse than they are. When you sit back and you look at most of these false prophets, I don't care what they in. Christian church, Israelite, don't make no difference. When you see the nigga who leading, the people who he went and converted usually be as bad or worse than he is. Now, does that mean just because some of the members is retarded and idiotic, does that mean the man who lead them is every time? No. But a lot of times, I mean, come on, man, y'all know something. You see GMS, you see their leadership, then you see the people who up under, they twice as bad as them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see what they be doing. You see in most Christian churches, the pastor sleeping with every woman in the congregation, and what you see the men in there doing. If the pastor knocking all the holes down, I can knock them down too. You know what I'm saying? Shoot, he got 10, I got 20. You know what I'm saying? Niggas sitting around looking at, if the deacon pilfering $40, $50 out the plate, shoot, nigga, I'm gonna get me 20, 30 out the plate. You know what I'm talking about? Because that's what you looking at. You like, shoot, just seen Deacon Jones slide a 50 right out the plate. When it come my way, boy, I'm gonna get me 10, boy, cause shoot, boy, I ain't got no money either. You gonna feel like, shoot, he can do what I can do. I'm if you, cause I just heard a story about it, I ain't never seen it. But if you sit back and you see somebody that's in leadership and you actually sat there and physically viewed them, slide some money out the collection plate right before your face and put it in their pocket, what's going to make you think you can't do it? I just seen him do it. Shoot, niggas, fair game.
You naturally may want to do it. Because I remember when I was a kid, we used to drop it off. I dropped mine off in one, and the deacon had one there. I thought if we dropped one off, we picked one up.
That nigga go about, so you drop $1 and pick up a dub. Shoot, ain't no need to drop no dollar. So you was one of them, you was pulling the move, nigga, you used to pull in the strip club on the old switcheroo. That what you was doing? You look like an old vandal. Out here pilfer. That's why the people don't trust you with. And then, at the same time, he said nigga gave him $12,000 cash and he ain't pilfer none. Ain't that something trust? Remember he told us that yesterday, talking about, remember he told us that late talking about he put that $12,000 in her? Yeah. And he ain't touching a coin, but you gonna hit the church for their little change. You had Toyota. It was a big church. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't care what it was. You know what I'm talking about? That's a Toyota, a big chain. You wasn't thinking about them 12 stacks.
They was paying me good. Shoot, I ain't gonna buy the hand that feed you. I ain't no idiot.
Well, they were good as hit messing with me. Nigga come in there with 12,000 cash. Bet them people get 9,500. I'm like this here, I don't know what you're talking about. He said he gave you 12,000, he ain't got no proof. He gave me 9,500, sir. 9,500. Matter of fact, I'm at my bad, he gave me 8,500. I took a couple extra.
I was doing the audit and all. I just wasn't.
You were doing the auditing too?
I did the audit.
Oh, the forged all the books. Thank the Lord, I was never in no position like that. That book, I'd have went to prison for a long time. I'd have been hitting the people. Oh, you gonna put me in charge of the books too? Oh, I bet I leave with an extra $3,000, $4,000 every month.
Somebody else will do it later on. So it's like, okay, I did it, but later on it's gonna go to.
It don't matter. Man, look here, man. One thing about the white folks knew how to do some old fudging on some accounting for about a good 4-5 years before somebody called them. All I need is a 6-month run. I ain't greedy. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just trying to stack me up something. I'm out of there. I just need me a 6-month run. You know what I'm saying? Because boy, if I can get it for about $4,000-5,000 every month, $30,000, shoot, well, I put that away. I'm chilling now. I make something happen. I'm telling you, man, y'all look at them people be around there pulling all them stunts on them accounting books, man. Y'all remember all that stuff, man. The people were doing that stuff for years before they got caught. Man, I don't need but 6 months. Man, Bertie Madoff was around here Ponzi and scheming niggas for 10-15 years, man. I ain't trying to go that long. Longer you go, you're going to get caught. Just give me 6 months. Cole, you an honest man, except when it came to the church house. You can go around there and take the people $20. And what you did with that money after you took it? What you went and bought with it?
No, they were like, hold up now. You don't take it. They ain't let me get it, but I tried to take it.
And what you were going to do with it when you got it?
Whatever. Probably buy some chocolate.
He told you about his butt naked lady chocolate. Nigga like butt niggas. They say we gotta take him to Peterbrook. He said he gotta find a new company since he can't eat the butt. And the worst part is the butt naked lady on the chocolate.
Quality chocolate.
Man, I bet it was quality chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Boy, you trying to hold on. You don't need to be eating no chocolate looking at no butt naked woman.
Other brands. It's just not.
I'm just saying, man, you looking at titties on your chocolate, man.
You couldn't see it. The hair was covering the titties.
You're trying to finish out the bag. Like I said, man, leave that chocolate might been in the hand you said it. You look at that chocolate too long. She looking good on there too, boy.
I don't like the wave it was over here. I don't like it.
No, shoot, they can't get Brian no candy, man. That's gonna slide right out of his head. I gotta get Brian candy with a top. Eat it with a top. One thing about it though, that spatula don't slide on that nigga hand when he on that grill though. And we appreciate him too, because he's good at it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get you real soon. We're gonna get, you know what I'm saying? We need to holler at you. Yeah, he told me you got him on 2, you won your one on 2K too, so you find your game you can win on.
Oh, he said one.
You heard him? He said, what? Like what you mean, nigga? I won 3.
He said, "One."
Yeah, but did you see how his head perked up too? He said, "One." I'll be my bad because I ain't get more specific.
I wrote from that. He's win. He's win. I mean, coach game. Mine was landslide.
Hey man, I'll be honest with you, man. I'll be honest with you. I'd rather get blown out than lose a close one. The close ones hurt me. I'm telling you, you get blown out, it don't bother you that much. All right, we wasn't good today, you know, he got you. But boy, you lose one in the last few minutes.
I'd rather lose one in the last few minutes.
Not I. Those are. I ain't talking about just on the video game. I'm talking about competing for real and all. I'd rather get blown out than lose a close game. Because on a close game, you looking at, boy, what did I do to cost myself this here, man?
That's how you get up.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's frustrating because it'll get you angrier with yourself. They harder to swallow. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I guarantee you, them Seahawks niggas were looking crazy how they lost that Super Bowl. They'd rather got blown out than to lose it like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Come on around here, Acts chapter 13, though. Finish this out. It says, now when the congregation, verse 43, now when the congregation was broken up, many of the Yahudim and the religious proselytes followed Paul and Barnabas, who, speaking to them, persuaded them to continue in the grace of Elohim. And the next Sabbath day came almost the whole city together to hear the word of Elohim. But when the Yahudim saw the multitudes that were filled with envy, and spake against those things which were spoken by Paul, contradicting and blaspheming, then Paul and Barnabas waxed bold and said it was necessary that the word of Elohim should first have been spoken to you. But seeing you put it far from you and judge yourselves unworthy of everlasting life, lo, we turn to the Gentiles. For so have Yahuwah commanded us, saying, I have set thee to be a light of the Gentiles, that thou should be for the salvation unto the ends of the earth. And when the Gentiles heard this, they were glad and glorified the word of Yahuwah, and as many as were ordained to eternal life believed. So these people blessed themselves. Because you notice the key thing, it said they believed. They were happy. And then they blessed themselves and gloried in the Lord. Not in themselves. Because if they gloried in the word of Yah, they gloried in the Son. So that means when them people walked off, they praised and their mouth was speaking of Yahuwah by way of Yahusha. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So this is back, you see an example, this backing up Jeremiah. Because he said all the nations, he said the salvation will be unto the ends of the earth. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who wants to walk in the way of Kodesh, the Most High Yah is going to accept him. That's undeniable. You know, I told y'all this before. I talked to a dude from ISUPK 4 years ago. And I asked him a simple question. I said, if there was a Hebrew who did not believe in the Son, committed all manner of transgression and sin, I said, would the Father be justified in sending him to hell? He said, absolutely. I said, I agree with you, sir. I said, now if you have a Caucasian, and he walked in the way of Yahuwah, and he believed in the Son, and didn't commit any sin, I say, would the Father be justified in sending this man to burn in hell forever? And this man said, yes. I said, I will no longer speak with you any longer, sir. And I got off the phone with him. The reason being because you just blasphemed, and you blasphemed heavy. Because you just said that Yah is unrighteous and his judgment is off. Because you know what I'm saying? No. Now, it just had hit my mind to ask him that. If I was thinking the way he thought, and somebody asked me that question, I would really be slow to answer that. I got to think about what I'm going to say. Because if I say, no, he wouldn't be justified in doing that, then I got to assess everything I've been taught and everything I believe from that point forward. But if I want to hold on to what I've been taught so bad that I'm willing to call Yah himself a sinner, that's a dangerous mind. Because when he say that, he just said the Father is a sinner. He just said this man got to respect the person, so he's going against his own law. He's saying the man got a false balance and a false weight going against his own law. You know what I'm talking about? That's dangerous, man. I'm not bold enough to do it. That's how it happens to you. Jeremiah chapter 4. Come on, man. You ain't even real with it. Yeah, he ain't good. But I'm talking about the crank up on the voice. He ain't that hurt. His pride hurt. He ain't that hurt. Oh, I heard him. I seen him when he got hit.
Man was taking a step, he switched down the school, and then took an extra little flight.
Yeah, indeed. But it was that crank up there, like he trying to hit that high note. He was overdoing it. He was overdoing it. He was overdoing it. Yeah, you know that nigga got the action. You know Lil Mike act like he work at dinner time theater. You all right, Lil Mike? Verse 3 of Jeremiah 4. You all right, Lil Mike? Lil Mike say, y'all laughing at me now. That's why I'm trying some more. Stop laughing at me. Jeremiah 4:3. Sit down, Spanks. Sit down. For thus saith Yahuwah to the men of Yehuda and Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground and sow not among thorns. What did the Lord tell you about that seed that's amongst the thorns? What did he told you about?
Choked out.
Huh?
They got choked out.
Why did it get choked out?
Because they have no room to grow.
Why did it get choked out? The worries of the world, and the cares and affairs of this life, and the deceitfulness of riches choke off the word. See, in every single solitary thing that you do, there has to be some manner of balance in what you're doing. Like I was telling Glover this the other day. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting to be successful and get you some money. And whatever it is that you're doing to maximize your earning potential or whatever, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem come in at, because he had referenced what it says in Proverbs 23 and verse 4 or 5 to be specific. Where he says, labor not to be rich. Cease from thy own wisdom. Going to what Paul told you, he didn't say that money was the root of all evil. He said the love of it was. Because then your labor is going to be for that. So you're not going to labor for y'all no more. That's why he told you in the law, he said, lest you be rich. Well, in Proverbs chapter 30. He said, don't give me poverty and don't give me riches, but food convenient for me, lest I be rich and forget Yahuwah. See, sometimes when you go to chasing after all this stuff, man, you end up forgetting the Lord. That's why the Lord even told you in the law, I'm the one that give ye wealth. He said, don't you be around here acting like when all this stuff go to increasing, and you be like your own hand got it for you. Because your hand did get it for you But Yah had to be with you to be able for it to increase. Because just as he gave it to you, he can take it away from you. Just like he opened the door, he can shut it. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to keep that stuff in perspective. Because a lot of times people don't keep that stuff. That's why you say the deceitfulness of riches. Because that money deceive you. And that's why Paul told you. Those that who coveted it erred from the faith. You know what I'm saying? Because what ends up happening is when you got a love for money. Like I told you before, when you money hungry, you'll do anything for it. You know what I'm saying? There will be nothing restrained from you in what you would do for it. That's why you see some of these niggas, because they love money. See, bro, it's lawful to do good on the Sabbath day. That's why I work on it. You know what I'm saying? They'll throw stuff out there like that because they love that money. They don't want to let, I can't let that shift pass. You know what I'm saying? Anything, nigga come up with anything because I got to come up with a way. Remember, that's why he said for order you for not to be able to move, these abominations got to come out of your heart. Because how is that an abomination? Because you commit idolatry. You put something before Yah. You know what I'm talking about? That's why you got to have that balance, man. You can hustle, man, and serve Yah and get your money and not commit sin and have that not consume you. You know what I'm talking about? But some people, it overtake them. I seen a nigga today, I hope he don't drive his truck on there like, man, got y'all name all on his semi, all that type of stuff. It's a beautiful thing to see. It means absolutely nothing, nigga, if you drive on the Sabbath. I tell people, oh man, I make runs for you all the time, Sunday to Thursday. Don't holler at me there another day though. You know what I'm saying? But you got some people that be like this here, boy, I run 7 days a week. I thought you keep the Sabbath. And I'm just driving, bro. I ain't really working. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real though. But you got to realize that when it's something that you want to do. Do you like this here, the cares of it, like man, a lot of stuff, man, you get focused on, man, I want to do this with my life, man, I want to do this with my life, and it pull you away from what you ought to be doing with your life, which is saving your soul. And where did that come in at? And guess what ends up happening? This is what we were looking at. What do most Israelites end up getting around? Men who just like them, who commend themselves and tell each other. The book say in the book of Proverbs, he say, every man proclaim his own greatness, but a faithful man who can find? You know what I'm saying? You let the average nigga tell it, boy, I'm a righteous dude. Ain't nobody else told him that. They tell you that. You know what I'm saying? All this, that, there, and the other, because you boasting in yourself. You got to be careful about that. Cause I know everybody in here got some manner a plan, a vision they got for themselves that y'all will and they hope they can accomplish. And more power to you, and y'all will, you finish it. You know what I'm talking about? But you got to make sure that whatever it is you seeking after, that don't come before this word. That don't become before your soul. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what's going to end up happening? The Lord going to give you over to it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you want to be this here? You want to do this here? Well, by all means, I'm going to see what your end going to be. I already know what your end going to be. But I'm going to give you over to it. Because he said that in the book of Psalms. Let's see what the end going to be. You know what I'm saying? Let's read verse 4. Circumcise yourselves to Yahuwah, and take away the foreskin of your heart, ye men of Yehudah, and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire, and burn that none can quench it, because of the evil of your doing. So we already know, because obviously Mordecai already knew Deuteronomy 10 and 16. Circumcise the foreskin of your heart and be no more stiff-necked. Mordecai already knew Deuteronomy 30. I will circumcise. Look at Deuteronomy 30. Look what he told. Look what he told him he would do. And if I'm not mistaken, he told him he would do it in the land of their captivity on top of that. Even though we know officially true Yahudim, a true Jew, wasn't brought to pass until the Lord died and resurrected. But Mordecai had an understanding to know what he was saying. Deuteronomy chapter 30 and about verse 4. Make it 3. We'll just start at 1 because all I need is verse 5. Or verse 6 actually. It shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all nations whither Yahuwah thy Elohim have driven thee. You heard what he said? What are we doing right now here in America? We calling to mind the blessing and the curse right now. You know what I'm saying? You ain't following after Yah because you just woke up one day and said that's what you wanted to do. Somebody presented some manner of information your way. The Lord allowed you to come across some information, and you was able to see the blessing and the curse and the land where you've been driven. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's look at the blessing and the curse, though. Let's look at John chapter 8, about verse 22. Matter of fact, I don't even want John 8:22. Didn't you ask me about 1 Kings 13 the other day? Or what that 2 Kings 6? Which one that was?
2 Kings 13.
Look at 2 Kings 13. We hadn't looked at this in time past, but I ran across something this morning. Let's go right along with it again. 2 Kings chapter 13. And about verse 19. This thing even charging, so it's not. 2 Kings 13, verse 19. And the man of Elohim was wroth with him and said, Thou should have smitten 5 or 6 times, then had thou smitten Syria till thou had consumed it. Whereas now thou shalt smite Syria but thrice. Elisha died, and they buried him, and the bands of the Moabites invaded the land at the coming in of the year. And it came to pass, as they were burying a man, that behold, they spied a band of men. They cast the man into the sepulchre of Elisha, and when the man was let down and touched the bones of Elisha, he revived and stood upon his feet. Now we know, when the Lord came to his apostles, he told them, what did he tell them? When after he rose from the dead and he showed them his hands and his feet, what did he say?
Flesh and blood shall not inherit the kingdom of flesh.
He didn't tell them no flesh and blood won't inherit no kingdom.
He said, why are you afraid?
Yeah. He said a spirit don't have flesh and bones as you see me have. You know what I'm saying? Now we sit back and look at this man touched this man's bones and he was being able to live. You got to remember when the Mashiach sat down with them and taught them that the whole book was about him, we know in John he breathed on them. So for all intents and purposes, they were revived because they came one with him. For in essence, that means they touched his bones. You know what I'm talking about? And they were able to live. Now look at 2 Timothy chapter 2 and about verse 13. About 2 Timothy 2 and about 10. We got to look at the blessing and the curse. The reason why we start looking at that man dying and him being revived, because we know from Genesis chapter 3, the curse is death. We're not going to take that the regular Israelite term that the curse is just being in captivity. Because even in being in captivity, that's being captive to sin, which is being captive to death. Because if the nations are ruling over you in captivity, we know that's a similar to from what Paul wrote us in the Epistle of Romans in the 6th chapter and the 16th verse, that's Ha-Shaitan, the adversary, ruling over you in your bondage while you in sin. You know what I'm talking about? How is he any different than any king or any of these people who rule over the nations while you in captivity? He that commits sin is the servant of sin. You know what I'm talking about? That man say, whoever you yield your member service to obey, that's to whom do you obey? Whether sin unto death, obedience unto life. You know what I'm saying? So even then when you look at it in the spiritual aspect, when you commit sin, you've been delivered over to the nations because Satan rule over you. Because at the end of the day, the curse is death. You know what I'm talking about? You don't want to be focused on the curse of, well, he said our enemies are rule over us and all. Because all that's well and good. Because all that's true. But you got to get that curse off of you. Remember what Moses told you. I said before you what? Life and death. Blessings and curses. The blessing is eternal life. The curse is death. He told you to choose life. So when he told you to choose life, he was letting you know the curse is obviously death. You got to ask yourself which one you going to choose. Life or death. If you're going to choose life, I mean, you got to get them abominations out of your heart. So you can be steadfast, so you can glory in the Lord. If not, you going to perish. You know what I'm saying? You going to perish. Ain't no way around that. 2 Timothy 2 and 10. Listen to what Paul tells you. Make it 9. Matter of fact, verse 8. Listen to what Paul tells you. Remember that YAHUSHA HaMasyiach of the seed of David was raised from the dead according to my preaching or my gospel, wherein I suffer trouble as an evildoer, even under bonds, but the word of Elohim is not bound. Didn't we already look at it? Joseph suffered as an evildoer. What did he do wrong? This man locked up in a jail. They talking about he tried to sleep with another man's wife. He didn't do that. You know what I'm talking about? You see, we going to go back eventually, y'all with it. You're going to see Daniel get thrown in the lion's den as an evildoer. But he said the word Elohim is not bound, meaning it's not restrained. You know what I'm saying? You got to sit back and look at that. No matter what happens to you physically, boy, the word ain't going to stop. You can't put no bonds on the word. You know what I'm talking about? This is what he say now. Therefore, I endure all things for the elect's sake, that they may also obtain salvation, which is in YAHUSHA HaMasyiach with eternal glory. Again, time back to what we looked at last night. Joseph suffered everything for his brethren's sake. And what he turned around and said, he sent me before y'all to save many souls alive. So all that stuff he went through, he did that for his own people. He didn't know it at the time, but that's what he did it for. So then you see what? The Lord coming back doing that. I'm enduring all of this. He said, I'm not doing it for my sake. He said, I didn't come to be ministered unto. I came unto minister to make my life a ransom for many. I'm not doing this for me. So I'm suffering the disrespect, the spitting on, the slapping, the crucifixion, all this stuff. I'm doing that for y'all. This ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? The average person, they can't fact. That's why I don't see how these dudes have such a problem. You can't really wrap your mind around a man enduring something for you. He ain't doing it for himself. So you mean to tell me that these people going to come up with a story about a man taking all this type of stuff for nothing? You know what I'm saying? What's the purpose of us preaching YAHUSHA HaMasyiach for? What's the what are we getting out of that? Oh, you taking the glory away from Yah. How is that possible? How is that possible? I've never heard a plausible explanation on how is that possible, that the glory is being removed from the Father because you're preaching the Son. If you're preaching the Son, you're preaching the Word. If you're preaching the Word, that would be giving glory to the Father because remember, Yahusha is the author and finisher of your faith. So me and the brother were talking about this moment. Y'all know that Ice Cube's son, right, played him in that movie, right? And y'all know that he had this man audition for 2 years for the role before he even got it. When you look at it along with the Son, everything in the law and in Tanakh, all that for all intents and purposes was Yahusha's audition. You got to get prepared and ready for this role. So when the time that he was born and came out Mary's womb, now it's time for me to actually play my role in this movie, this part that was written for me from the jump street. Because you had to know when Q wrote this movie, the only person he had in mind to play him was his own son. Who else would this man have in mind to play him but my own son? And I'm going to show you this in a minute because it got even iller. There's a scene in that movie, because I seen them on Conan O'Brien talking about it, where Ice Cube's son is playing a role where he talking about the birth of himself. Where he playing his daddy talking about himself. Now ain't that something where you speaking about yourself, you playing a role with, and we going to look at a part where the Lord stood in front of them people and he was telling them, yeah, this was about me. Now, can you imagine that standing in front of people telling you, you know what, you know, all this stuff here, I'm reading to y'all, this is about me, and I'm reading it to you. And I'm actually walking out and living the role that was written for me, that's about me, and I'm standing here doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's real talk. Now, this man's auditioned for 2 years. Like, he just didn't get the part. He didn't cue it and say, here you go, son, you gonna play me. He took him through rigorous training and preparation to play himself in this movie. Because basically playing that nigga looked just like him, got all his mannerisms down, everything he did, and then guess what the Lord turned around and tell you, if you seen me, you seen my Father also. You know what I'm saying? They don't realize when you seen O'Shea Jackson up there, Jr. up there, you seen O'Shea Sr. also. When you saw him, you seen my daddy. And then the key thing, what he told it, it got even iller with it. They say, well, how did he know all this stuff? Q say, nigga, my son was there the whole time. My son was born in 91. We started this in 89. All this stuff what you talking about, he was there. That sound familiar, y'all? Whole time, who was with the Father? Son was there with it the whole time. The whole time. What you mean? How I ain't gonna know the script and the role? Nigga, I'm not telling you what somebody else told me. This is a first-hand account. Nigga, I was there. He told you that in Proverbs chapter 8. Before I made the mountains and I did all this here, I was there. Before I made the deeps and all that there, I was there. This first-hand information. That's why we can look at him and see how he is the first and the last, the author and the finisher. I wrote the story and I finished the story. And these niggas gonna say you, that's King David, bro. That's King David, bro. Really? That's King David? So when did King David go into the Shamahim like Elijah did and send his spirit down on Elisha? When did David do that? When did David do that? So then when we can line that up in the New Testament, so you mean to tell me them white folks wrote that, but they're not preaching that? You know what I'm saying? You telling me these white folks, you see, because most Israelites don't preach it anyway, because Delta just told me his homeboy was on the phone with him, you know, you got to keep the law to the best of your ability. The Lord never taught that. None of the apostles never taught that. What did we just read in 1 John 2 last night? He said, you have an advocate, and he said, my little children, I tell you, sin not. Not sin if you're able. Not do the best that you can. Sin not. When he healed that woman, when he healed that man, when he spared that woman caught in adultery, he told him, don't go do that no more. Sin no more. Try not to. Do your best. Matter of fact, he told him, if you do, nigga, something worse gonna come on. You know what I'm saying? But Christians and most Hebrew Israelites teach it's all right to sin. True Yahudim ain't no sin. You know what I'm saying? We don't believe in that. Why we don't believe in that? Because we glory in the Lord. The Father don't commit iniquity. The Son don't commit iniquity. And I'm going to be converted in his image and I'm going to commit iniquity. That means I'm not a son. That means I'm a bastard. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of people, they don't have that thought process of looking at, when they look at the Lord, or look what he did. He died for you. He got you a free gift, because we talked about that last night. How are we going to know that I'm with you? You know what I'm saying? What's the grace that I'm going to know that you are with me and this people? You know what I'm talking about? So then when you turn around and look at that, how are you going to turn that away? How are you going to turn that down? Because ain't nobody in this book came and did none of these things for us. Abraham didn't do it. Isaac didn't do it. Jacob didn't do it. David didn't do it. Solomon didn't do it. Ezra didn't do it. Nehemiah didn't do it. One man came and did that you might have a shot at life. That's why he say you won't come to me that you might have life. They don't want to live. You got to ask yourself how bad you want to live. Because a lot of y'all holding on to stuff you ain't got no business holding on to. When the word come in and show you, man, don't do that or don't go that way, what's so hard about not doing it and not going that way? Instead of finding a reason why you should want to keep on doing it, and the word say, no, I'm just not going to do it. Even if I ain't 100% sure, I'm not going to risk my soul on it, I'm not doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's just that easy. If salvation is what you after. If you're going to glory in the Lord, whatever the word come and say don't do, that's it. I ain't doing it no more. It come up, you shown, don't smoke no marijuana. We gone. Man, and I'm just using stuff because I see these dudes argue about it. I don't read nowhere in the Torah where it says you can't smoke or masturbate. The fact that you want to think in your mind, because I'm mentioning two things that you know that are not explicitly written there. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with yourself. Don't smoke marijuana. Don't use profane language. But common sense tell you, if you serve a Kodesh God, then you would know, well, I ain't going to do that. That don't even sound like something he would do. I just can't see the son sitting around saying, ain't nobody in here, man. I'm finna go in the bathroom for a few minutes. Don't bother me. You know what I'm saying? The father like this here. You got a light. Trying to smoke this Newport. You know what I'm saying? Using all manner of disrespectful word to talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Then you sit back and look at it. Oh, that's that European stuff. But you guys see, how you separated your, because this is what Moses asked, what we read last night in Exodus 33. How are we going to be saved? He said, you're going to be with us and separate us from the people of the land. How are you separated from the people of the land and you say you want this free gift that you don't deserve, but yet you're not going to manifest behavior becoming of that? See, we're going to read verse 11. Look what he say right there. He said this is a faithful saying. He said it is a faithful saying. If we be dead with him, we shall also live with him. You see back there, that man was in the dead with Elisha. They threw him in the grave. He ended up coming alive. Now, we know Elisha didn't come back alive, but this man was dead and he went in and lived with him. Because he revived. You know what I'm talking about? You got to sit back and look at that. HaMasyiach died so you might live. See, they don't want that. Even when you turn around and you look at it, even with Joseph, what we looked at last night, they thought Joseph was dead. They went to the pit, he was gone. He died so they might live. That's why he say you prisoners of hope. You know what I'm talking about? Look to me. You've been sanctified by the blood of the covenant to bring the prisoners out of the pit where there was no water, where there was no life. I came to revive you. A lot of people don't want to live. That's why they'll keep them abominations in their heart. You know what I'm saying? What's some of the things you can think of on the top of y'all head in here right now you know is an abomination? Besides being a sissy. Eating swine. Lying tongue, shedding innocent blood. Huh? Fornicate. Cutting your penis off. Pulling a old Bruce Jenner. Not even to lock that nigga up for manslaughter. Guess what? Bet you ain't going to no female prison, nigga. You going right around there where everybody love boy booty. I say, boy, the Lord is good. You cut off your swag, now you get to go to prison, nigga. And they gonna show jamming up in you too. You gonna get all the swag you want. You know what I'm saying? Remember now, having an unjust weight is an abomination. A froward heart is an abomination. Sowing discord among brethren is an abomination. Women wearing pants is an abomination. Men cross-dressing is an abomination. You know what I'm talking about? Turning your ear from hearing Yahusha is an abomination. Because remember, we dealt with that before. You know, he that turned his ear away from hearing my law. And you know, when you look at it on the surface, that's just the law. But when you look at it, the Lord was the law made flesh. You turn your ear from hearing his voice. Why would this man hear your prayer? When this man say, you got to come. He say, if you do anything in my name, he will do it. This is his commandment, that you believe on him whom he sent. And you don't want to hear this man and you think this man hear you? Show, nigga. I'm straight up and down like, but guess what? You go a lot of these dudes to knock only, they ain't going to want to hear that. You got all manner of sin on you. You say all you got to do is say I'm sorry. And Isaiah 59 say, nigga, I can't hear you if you sin. I can't hear you if you sin. We know how Habakkuk say what? My eyes too pure to look upon evil. So you're going to say this man, see this? A lot of Hebrews ain't no different than Christians. You expect this man to go against his own word. You know what I'm saying? Instead of actually looking at yourself and saying, what am I doing which would cause this man not to hear me? Let me stop doing it so he'll hear me. What am I doing to cause this man not to be with me? Let me stop doing it so he'll be with me. What am I doing that is inhibiting me from receiving the Ruach HaKodesh, which I say I desire? Why am I going to continue that pathway and this is a hindrance to my salvation? See, that they don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that. You know what I'm saying? Son come up, it don't matter what it was. Like this here, shoot. Corey, no, there's a couple things he ain't know, but that man handled that right then and there on the spot. What's the sense of kicking and fighting? Will did the same thing. Troy did, what's the sense of fighting? I'm just going ahead and handle that because at the end of the day, there's nothing on this earth worth going to hell for. There's no one on this earth worth going to hell for. That's including your own self. I tell you, man, it's not outside people that's the problem. We are the problem. Individually, you your own enemy. You know what I'm saying? That's why I remember what we dealt with a long time ago. He said, if you be given the appetite, put a knife to your throat. You know what I'm saying? And we know that knife is the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High. Let that kill you, and at the same way, it'll turn around and heal you. Let's read verse 12. He said, if we suffer, we shall also reign with him. If we deny him, he will also deny us. If we believe not, yet he abide faithful, he cannot deny himself. Now, why he can't deny himself? Huh? I mean, how he the author of the faith. How am I deny myself and it's about me? He says, search the scriptures, in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. So if I say I'm not who I said I was, then I denied the first 39 books of the whole thing. He said, I'm going to abide faithful because guess what? I'm going to still do what I say. Romans chapter 3 verse 1. I'm going to still do what I do. He said, I'm going to remain. He said, you can deny me. I'm going to remain faithful. I can't deny myself. How many of y'all going to sit back and say, you know you wrote something, you did something, and then come back around and say you didn't do it? And you know you did. I ain't talking about nothing negative. You know if you did something bad, you ain't going to tell them, I ain't do that. So that wasn't me. They said one of you niggas walk past, Romans 3 and 1, walk past and fought at somebody and fought in the room, be like, who did that? I don't know. I know T found that video what that gas looked like coming out your bum on infrared. Just was a plump cloud. They never, I ain't never sit back and think about what gas might be look like on the way out. That nigga had a lot of gas, boy. I'm talking about a lot, because he dropped 2 loads. Just expanded everybody in the room like, bastard. It says, what advantage have then the Yahudim, or what profit is there of circumcision? Much every, chiefly, because that unto them were committed the oracles of Elohim. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Elohim without effect? Elohim forbid, let Elohim be true, but every man a lie. As it is written, that thou might be justified in thy sayings, and that might overcome when thou art judged. That's what you turn around. And we already know Yahusha is God. So let him be true and every man be a lie. Because we know he was made Yasharal. You have power as a prince. Thou hast power with Yah and man, and have prevailed. That man got rulership and dominion just like his father got. So how you going to turn around and tell me that this man ain't that, and every word he spoke wasn't the truth? He said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. The law say, the Father say, I'm abundant in goodness and truth. The law say that he is a power of truth. So it's quite natural his son would be too. So that's why he said, I can't deny myself. If I deny myself, I deny the word. Then I say the word ain't true. I'm not finna do that. It makes no sense. Oh, it's all right. Come on back to Esther chapter 3. Ain't that something? Thank the Lord. And all that what we were just trying to see about keeping the Sabbath in captivity. Leave the keys on, thanks. Come on the other side, thanks. Other side. We in 3 and 4. Come here. What you doing? Just be cool. What you want, Lizzie? 3 and 4. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened not unto them, that they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand, for he had told them that he was a Yahudim. And when Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence, then Haman was full of wrath. And he thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for they had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Yahudim that were throughout the whole kingdom of Xerxes, even the people of Mordecai. In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year of King Xerxes, they cast pure, that is the lot, before Haman from day to day and from month to month to the 12th month, that is the month Adar. And Haman said unto King Xerxes, listen to what he says. There is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom, and their laws are diverse from all people. Neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. Now, this actually goes, you heard it said, they laws ain't like ours. And he said, and on top of that, they don't keep yours. So if they don't, if these people's laws are different from theirs, then what does that tell us?
They were keeping the laws in captivity.
So that means they kept the Sabbath day in captivity, then, didn't it? That means they kept the feast days in captivity, and then people knew it and it angered them. What that sound like to y'all? Now, you know I was just talking to y'all about these idiotic niggas taking on September 23rd and blood moons on tabernacles at the NWO coming. Use a fool. You know what I'm saying? Because the man ain't never told you to look for no blood moon. Man never told you nothing about no September 20th. Why do you care about the Pope going to meet Barack Obama? Who cares? These people meet and talk to each other all the time, nigga, and you don't even know it. These people were just in California having a God knows what type of orgy with all manner of grown men cross-dressing, singing show tunes, sacrificing little babies, and you ain't know nothing about it. They'll slide in there and slide out. You'll never know they was there. I'll show you what I'm talking about, though. Revelation 2 and 9. After we look at Revelation 2 and 9, Revelation 12, and about verse 14. That man said, you already said, it don't profit the king to suffer them or allow them. So he said, we might as well just kill them. because they won't do what we want them to do because their laws are different. It's little stuff like that. See, them niggas gonna want to say, where does it say they kept the feast and the Sabbath in captivity? It just said it right there. Because he just said these people were dispersed abroad in diverse places, and he said their laws are different than ours, and they don't keep yours. So that means every Yahudim and King Xerxes dominion, boy, when that sun hit down Friday night, boy, Sabbath, boy, I'm going, holler at you. We chilling. Y'all gotta work today. Tell your mammy to do it. Straight up, tell your mammy to go. Oh, we need y'all to come up here. It's a feast day. Ain't y'all supposed to go to Jerusalem? Hey, we keep it right here. Guess what also show you? Not only saying the time will come that not in Jerusalem, nor in this mountain will you worship the Father, but the Father seek those to worship him in spirit and in truth. You know what I'm talking about? You just seen in Acts 13 where the people were keeping the Sabbath in captivity. We don't even sit back when you got to remember when the Lord was on the earth, just because we were in the land, we were still in captivity. We were still in captivity. If we weren't in captivity, there would have been no need for the apostles to ask, Lord, at this time, will you restore the kingdom to Yahusha? Why would they ask him that? Oh, see, we was in the land, that's why we had to keep it. You were in the land because the prophecy state that you had to be there for the Mashiach, not for that reason now. The land, the law, the keeping the Sabbath and the feast has nothing to do with the land. It has something to do with you obeying your God. That's what it had to do with. The land came along with something he swore to Abraham. The law you obeying ain't had nothing to do with that land. Because whether you in that land or not, you got to obey. Esther just showed you that. 2:9, book of Revelation. Listen what he tell you. I'll read verse 8. And unto the Malachim of the synagogue in Smyrna, write these things. Listen what he says. Saith the first and the last, which was dead and is alive. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Yahudim and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Now I'm going to ask y'all a question. When y'all usually hear that verse right there, who come to mind for you? The fake Jew. But now sit back and think about it. Who is he really talking about? Because why would he be writing this to a synagogue of Israelites, of Yahudim, about some hook-nosed white folks?
He's talking about the one who crept in unawares.
He's talking about false brethren. He talking about men, because remember we just looked at, we know a Jew is one who's circumcised in the heart. So he's saying, remember now, he said, you are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. So while you professing that you serve a Mashiach, really you are a sinner. Well, you walk in here like you just a killer. That nigga swung that door open. You like to make entrances, don't you?
Walk the way I walk. I walk with a purpose.
No, boy. I seen, boy, you swung that door open just like it's here. Watch you, man. Watch you. Watch you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm serious, though. Look at all the people who were walking with the Lord in John chapter 6 and they stopped walking with him. You know what I'm saying? See, you got a lot of dudes. If you sit back and you look at it, it's not many people in the house of Yahusha that's going to sit back and say, what? That they are Yahudim, that they are Jew. It's not many of them going to say it. You know what I'm saying? They'll say, if they say it because they say I'm from the tribe of Judah, that's the only reason why they'll say it. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't going to say it because I've circumcised the foreskin of my heart and put off the body of sin to walk uprightly in the Lord. They're not going to tell you that much. If you go to the average Israelite, and you ask them what a Jew is, what they going to tell you? That's what they going to tell you. But yet Paul was a Benjamite. See, all of them were called Jews who lived in the southern kingdom. Paul made it different. Paul said, I'm going to seed Abraham or the tribe of Benjamin. Why he called himself a Jew then? Didn't he numerous times let it be known what tribe he was a part of? I'm from Benjamin. I'm from Benjamin. But then he said, but I'm a Jew. But I'm a Jew. Because he understood and knew what that meant. That wasn't a classification of a tribe, but of a lifestyle and a behavior for all intents and purposes, our religion. You know what I'm talking about? Because when you look at James chapter 1. Let me read verse 10, then we'll go to James 1:26. He said, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison that you may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Now we know Mordecai didn't end up getting cast into prison. Haman sure wanted to do a lot of things to him. He certainly troubled him many a days. But at the end of the day, didn't Mordecai get crowned? Because he was able to take what go along with that. Because this man sitting back looking at it. And even in Acts chapter 16 about verse 20, the Romans said they wanted to get Paul and all them up out of there. Because they say they teaching us laws and customs which are not lawful for us to observe. So that's letting you know these people were dwelling amongst the strange people, still sticking to the script. What these people doing is what you doing. But like how Yahushua son of Nun said, but me and my house, we gonna serve you. That's what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what y'all gonna do, but that's what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? We had to look at, you know how dumb niggas got to be to tell you your forefathers and ancestors didn't keep the Sabbath, man? So the only time they kept the Sabbath when they was in the land, they didn't left the land, Sabbath just go out the window. Man, I'm willing to wager before some of them people came and snatched us up off the coast of Africa. Some of them people over there keeping that Sabbath, boy. Not all of them. I guarantee you a good amount of them were. Because the people knew who they were. They were singing about this man on the way over here. And as I done told y'all before, that's one of the first reasons why they had to go around and tell you, name that boat Jesus. Because that was their first step and their first way to strip the name of Yahusha out your heart. That's the first thing they got to do. We got to give him another. First thing before we bring him over, we got to give him another God. Got to give him another. Can't let them come over here with theirs. Because if they come over here with theirs, they're going to be calling on them. And if they go to calling on them, they're going to follow them. And if they go to follow them, they're not going to do what we want them to do. So I got to take them from them. And then after I take their God from them, I'm going to take their name from them. And after I take their name from them, I'm going to take their language from them. And by the time they get it, he going to think his name is Toby. He going to think his last name is Smith and Jones and Washington. He going to think that. You know what I'm saying? Because you can sit back and you can really look at our people today. Even those who are not of our people that dwell in Africa, most of them don't have last names. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas have about 6, 7 first names. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that. That's their thing. They call it a surname. You know what I'm saying? That's their thing. We end up getting last names based on somebody's first name. Oh, that's John's son. So they don't call you, I ain't none of this man's son. I don't like this dude. You know what I'm saying? See, they don't like to talk about everything that happened when we were in slavery, man, because some of that stuff is despicable. You know what I'm saying? They like to, see, the white people don't mind you knowing that they raped the women. They don't like to talk about they raped the men too. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to talk about that, but they did that too. They don't like to talk about all of the child molesting they did, the killing of small children. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know about the feeding them to alligators. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all know about the human zoos. You know about the ridiculous amount of beatings that they put on you. Y'all know they made the police force to catch slaves. All this type of stuff. They don't like for us to talk about that. But guess what? What the day is? August the 22nd. And what it is? 30 days in August or 31? But in 20 days, you want me to remember some 3,200 people that died in some buildings that you blew up. I seen somebody today tell me, I'm still angry about 9/11. I could care less. Lucky for them, I don't still smoke marijuana, because I'll walk down there and burn a joint in front of all of them and say all of them should have died, as far as I can. Because these 3,200 people you killed does not make up for the millions and millions and millions of black people that have been slaughtered from the time we stepped on your coast and encountered you beastly people. Because that's the only way you can describe that manner of behavior, to treat another human being like that. That is beastly behavior. You know what I'm saying? It's not encompassing all Caucasians, but the reality of the matter is that is beastly behavior. You have to have some type of sick, demented, perverted mind to feed children to alligators. You got to have a sick, perverted, demented mind to say, let's get some cloths and sit down and eat food and pick a nigga to hanging from a tree. You know how sick you got to be to sit around and have lunch and watch a man be burnt alive? Because this one of these people, and take photographs of it, and they smiling. Bring their kids out there. And they ain't never stopped doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you want me to get upset because I'm like, this here, look here, little buddy. I'm about tired of y'all killing me. You know what I'm saying? I done told y'all before, man, the number one thing they fear is y'all snapping. They fear that. They fear it greatly. You know what I'm saying? When you sit back and think about it, don't you got a reason to snap? Wouldn't you think so? If you were just looking at it on a natural level, not dealing with black people as a whole and America as a whole, if a person kept doing you like that day in and day out, one of these days you're going to punch him in his mouth. Wow! You're going to stop trying me, nigga. I'm telling you, bro, I was trying to be nice, man. You kicked me in my stomach Tuesday. You hit me with a low blow Wednesday. You threw eggs on me Thursday. You know what I'm talking about? You hit me with a bat on Friday. I ain't come out the house Saturday because I was trying to heal up. Then on Sunday, after you done did all this to me, you turn around and hand me this book and say, Jesus loves you. Man, if you don't get out, I'm going to show you who loves you. Where my gun at? Just like we were talking about last Sabbath. They don't like to talk about them slave revolts. They don't want you to know about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? On your own time, you can go research the Gullah Wars. They don't like to talk about that type of stuff. They try to say it was Indians. Them was all Hebrews. Some of them Gullah Wars happened right here in the state of Florida. All Hebrews during the Civil War smashing these people. Smashing them. I'm talking about murking the Confederate army on every cut and corner. But to clean it up, they say it was Seminole Indians. It was all black folks. They don't want you to know nothing about none of this stuff because they know you are different than them in every shape, form, and fashion imaginable. So what's the best thing to do? They got a mind like Haman. They don't serve us no profit. Let's kill them. Let's kill him. I seen a brother say something, in intents and purposes, he was right. You know, when you keeping the Sabbath, that's a form of economic protest and boycott because you utterly refuse to spend money with them people on this particular day. Now, don't you imagine if more of our people did that, the amount of money that these people would lose every Friday night and Saturday afternoon? It would move them to the point where we would have no choice but to exterminate. Because remember now, you're not going to work. You're not buying and selling. So you know how much money that is that they losing? We'll get rid of you. You don't serve us no purpose. I mean, I couldn't argue with him, man. When you're right now, he ain't lying. The Sabbath is a form of economic protest and boycott because I utterly refuse to spend money with any of you people on this particular day. It's not going to happen. But guess what? Especially a black woman, nice weather, talking about don't go to the mall. Because you know all the women in these spots shopping and the dudes going to be there because they worry about where the women at so they can be in the women face. Which goes back to what I was telling you. What's the best way to get at a man? Hit him with an underbelly. Go after the women. Go after the kids. Because wherever the women at, that's where the men going to be because the men trying to catch the women. Why you think when they do clubs, they always say ladies night for free and broadcast it well known? Because if you know that all the women going to be there, you going to come. Ain't no man trying to go to no club and it's a sausage fest. And you're going to pay $20, $30 to get in here.
You know it.
Because ain't number of women in here. Niggas don't go to concerts because they want to see this nigga perform. Every time I hear niggas talk about going to a club, niggas say, boy, the whole not tonight, boy, I'm going. You know what I'm saying? If niggas like this here, boy, yeah, boy, such and such coming to perform, they say ain't nothing but dudes out there shooting. I'm keep my $40, nigga. I ain't buying no fit for that. Niggas say, but boy, it's probably going to be about 1,000 women out there, boy. I got to get a haircut, new shoes, new outfit. You going. Because you hoping you might can snag you one to fornicate with that night. And if not that night, maybe 2 to 3 days later. Because you definitely ain't going there to look for no wife. I hope ain't none of you niggas went to no club looking for no husband or no wife. You got to be the lamest nigga in captivity. Niggas say, well, I think I'm going to find the one tonight. That's only in the movies. That's not real life. You walk in that club, ain't number hoes in there, male or female. I'm not talking about just, when I say hoe, I ain't talking about no women. Male or female, that's all you finna find in there, some whore mamas. Ain't nobody in there, the likelihood of you finding your life mate is slim to none. You know you ain't finna find nothing when a nigga trying to offer you to get you drunk. What he trying to get you drunk for? Because he just want to see you intoxicated? And they say, boy, if her inhibitions get low, boy, I can smash her. And he be like this here, it was worth buying that outfit, getting that haircut, and buying that ticket. Y'all know I ain't lying though. It They feel like it's worth it. Then you had niggas go spend $400-500 on the fit, $200-300 on some shoes. You know what I'm saying? Fresh haircut. I'm talking about, and niggas do it every week. You know what I'm saying? Get your own lot, listen, huh? Hey, I knew niggas that hustle for the pure purpose of going to the club. You know what I'm saying? Like straight up, that's all they hustle for. To get a fit, to go to the club, to try to find them old foot dragger that they can smash. And 9 times out of 10, they get them pregnant and they stuck with their raggedy, no good hoe for life. Crying to you, talking about, man, you don't understand, man, my baby mama be tripping. Oh, I understand. I understand. You's an idiot. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying this for real, though. But guess what, though? You know how many clubs will go out of business? You ain't, then let's not even look at just on the Sabbath. You just ain't going to the club, period, because I don't listen to this music. I don't drink. I don't want to smell cigarettes. I don't want to smell Black and Mild. I'm not coming. You know how much money these people gonna lose? You know what I'm saying? If you sit back and say, you know what? If this company just outright openly says something against black people, I'm not shopping with you. I'm gonna shop with my, man, the people go crazy. These people bank on, one of the biggest ways these people will lose a whole gang of money, and these women stand up and say, no more weave, makeup, and nail polish for me. That's, and them ceiling fans they like to put on their eyes. I mean, I'm telling y'all, man, after a while, boy, a couple of these hoes gonna be able to fly. They gonna get it down pat. They ain't gonna drive nowhere. They flying. Say, how you got here, girl? I just batted my eyes. And just gleam. Tell you, you don't got pterodactyls on their eyes, man. Stop that stuff. That stuff is not cute. I don't know who told these hoes that stuff was cute. That stuff is not cute. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about their eyebrows look like they frightened or startled all the time. Just let that stuff grow out, baby. Stop drawing it on. There's a reason why you ain't go to art school. Revelation chapter 12. Y'all know I ain't lying. I don't get out much, but I get out a little bit. And I be seeing them girls, you gonna scare somebody. They say you got a Halloween costume on in the middle of July. I'm telling you, got all these earrings in their mouth and their nose. You know what I'm talking about? Your eyebrows, bicep flexing. You look hilarious. And guess what these Caucasians doing when they see you? Laughing at you. Because they don't do that joke. Look at this stupid nigga got hair like me. You know what I'm saying? You don't see her walk around here with an afro weave. You know what I'm talking about? You around here with her hair looking dumb. They be laughing at you. Like, let's hear. Because I knew a couple women back in the days that drew their eyebrows on. It wasn't many of them. You know what I'm saying? Nigga look up all of them doing it. Like how they get their eyebrows arched and shaved. Nigga, you got a full highway on your face. Like, what's wrong with you? That stuff is not cute. The makeup they be wearing, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, you really look like you finna audition for somebody's circus. Purple lipstick, yellows, blues, all manner of hues. And you look horrible. And you know what's crazy is? If it wasn't for the word, some of you niggas be walking around here looking just like that. I promise to you, I would clown you. Word or no word.
No, this is true. This is true.
Word or no word, because that stuff is not cute to me, period. Word or no word. That does not look good. You know what I'm saying? I ain't care nothing about no women wearing makeup then. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't with like, okay, you got your whole face caked in it. You know what I'm saying? But man, that stuff they be doing, all that stuff, man, that stuff is not attractive. Nigga got 7 different colors in her face. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been one care for no weave. You know what I'm talking about? That stuff be stank. You know what I'm saying? Most of these girls wear it too long. You got lice, dogs, maggots, all this stuff jumping on your scalp. Straight up, y'all know something. How many of y'all in here used to be around here, put a weave in your head, wear it for about 3-4 months? I seen a girl say, she talking about, see, this is Brazilian, I can wear it for 6 months. Oh, you need to get that stuff out your scalp. You know what I'm talking about? She talking about, I wash it. I said, well, how you put another nigga hair in your head and wash another nigga hair? Might as well wash yours. I was shocked. I didn't know a nigga could get a weave and wash it. You know what I'm saying? I said, you wash a weave? Yeah. I'm talking about niggas styling weaves. I was tripping, man. That stuff crazy. This how far these people got our mind going. We think that stuff cute. You know what I'm saying? Now you got our sons around here. You just seen that jit I told you, he said, you gonna take our picture? I'm like, no, I ain't gonna take your picture. This nigga got a lean, all this here bald with a little bit of fro coming up to the top. What's wrong with you, boy? But then I looked at it and I thought about it. I said, that's a hairstyle from the 80s. I left him alone. I ain't wearing one like that there, but it made me think about how Pop was. Boy, I ain't do none of that stuff there, man. You ain't do no high top fade, none of that. You good, let your hair that there. You know, you had your high top fade, you ain't let him ride though. You wanted that Iman Shumpert, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I ain't wanted that. Kept it low.
You wanted that kid in play. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't my thing, you know what I'm talking about? It's just crazy, man. All people just went crazy. I wasn't mad at nigga high top fade, wasn't my thing. You just ain't let your roll. I was gonna see if you gonna let him ride. I want to know how that nigga kid used to even be able to sleep with that thing on his head. Revelation 12 about verse 15. Get ready to get on out of here, man. And the serpent cast out his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. The earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth. That's the same thing Haman was doing, was trying to put together an army to take our people out. And the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Elohim and have the testimony of YAHUSHA HaMasyiach. Ain't that's what Haman was mad about? Because we kept the commandments of our God. He was upset by that. So I want to kill you for it. The same reason why they wanted to kill the Lord. They were jealous of him. But at the end of the day, they wanted to kill him because he obeyed. See, when you turn around and you look at it, everything they were trying to do was trying to pinpoint something that he was doing. Oh, he's sitting right here. Oh, we got it right here. Oh, we got it right here. That's why I be telling y'all, when you make that profession, and you say, man, I'm a Yahudim, I'm a Jew, man, I serve y'all by way of his son. This is what I do. Niggas gonna be needling. They gonna be looking. Every chance they got, they try to find something on the man. They would have him talk to try to catch him in his talk. You know what I'm saying? Set something up, just like they brought the woman in adultery. See what he gonna do. Oh, you can't heal people like this. We're trying to catch him. Because we know what type of time he on. You know what I'm saying? And you seen every time he was resolute and steadfast and letting them know, I don't play them type of games now.
He raised the bar.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what happens when you raise the bar? People hate you. Because they gonna think that you think you better than them when you... See, there's a difference. I want y'all to understand the difference between confidence and arrogance. You know what I'm saying? See, when you arrogant, you actually think that you better than somebody. It comes out in the way you speak to them. It comes out in the way how you deal with them. It comes out how you handle yourself. If we know that according to the law, if you keep my covenant, you are peculiar treasure indeed above all the people upon the face of the earth. That does not give you, because you have that freedom in the Lord, to walk around as if you are better than them, as you exude that type of behavior. You exude that type of spirit and mentality, because that's not humility. Just because I know, because I serve a God who is greater than you, and I know because I serve him I am greater than you, I will not carry myself in that fashion. Because HaMasyiach knew he's greater than everybody. But then he turned around and told you, he that's chief among you, let him be your servant. He that's the elder, let him be as the young. So even though I know, he said, look here, I'm your Lord and Master, and I washed your feet. If I washed your feet, you ought wash one another's feet. I know I'm better than all y'all. I'm over all of y'all. But yet I will not conduct myself in that fashion. I will not speak to you that way. I will not carry myself in that way. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that. Because when you're confident, that means you know where your hope and your trust and your belief rests. Therefore, can't nobody sway you. When you arrogant, you just think I'm better than you. You know what I'm saying? Just by product of walking in Yah. Look at 1 John chapter 4, verse 4. Just by walking in Yah's word alone shows you better than anybody. But you don't carry yourself that way. And after that, we'll look at Luke chapter 4. I said, y'all willing, we'll get it down. You might not get it down. Then we'll look at Luke chapter 4. About what I was telling you about a man reading by himself. 1 John 4 and 4. Listen to what he said. Ye are Elohim, little children, and have overcome them, because greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Because remember, he said, will you go with us? Remember we read that Exodus? Will you go with us? Well, you know, if the living Elohim is dwelling in you, it's him that is greater. So thereby product, because he is with you, that is what will make you, because again, it's going back to, we don't commend ourselves. We don't glory in nobody but the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glorying in him. He is what makes me better than you. You know what I'm talking about? Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to turn around and do what? Give glory back unto him who glory is due. You know what I'm talking about? But you let me know, because the law say, if you keep my covenant, you are above everybody. And that's what the man means. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with you knowing I am better than you. Because, as the people like to say, because the Bible tells me so. You know what I'm saying? I am better than you. But I'm only better than you when I believe and I obey. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of our brothers and sisters think that we better than these people because of who we are by the stock of blood that pumps through our veins. Because Abraham is our father, because Isaac is our father, and because Jacob is our father. We are better and greater than these people because of the oath that he swore to them to make a covenant with us, and the word and the laws and the statutes and commandments and the sacrificing of YAHUSHA HaMasyiach to give us eternal life. That's what makes us better than them. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing wrong with that. Because yeah, you better than these people. That is a true story. What group of people, as Deuteronomy chapter 4 say, what group of people have a law so great as ours? And a power so near like us? We'll read that after this, man, since I said it. Go on, get your Deuteronomy from chapter 4. But listen to the next thing he say here in verse 5. They are of the world, therefore they speak of the world, and the world hear them. That's why Haman say, man, they laws ain't like ours, they different. They don't speak about the stuff we speak about. They don't do the stuff we do. I don't like them niggas. He say, we are Elohim. He that know Elohim, hear us. He that is not of Elohim. He say, we are Elohim. He that know Elohim, hear us. He that is not of Elohim, hear not us. Hereby we know the spirit of truth and the spirit of error. So we able to know the difference then. Well, listen, going to be one of the toughest babies you ever see. She take a lot of spills, boy. Don't he know? Deuteronomy chapter 4. They sold it now. Listen, sold it. Well, how she was caught in that chair last night, she looked like they said, somebody get me, please. Just had one foot stuck on the chair, leaning sideways. Oh, Tizzy Lizzy. It's going to be all right, Tizzy Lizzy. Deuteronomy chapter 4 and about verse 4. He say, but ye that did cleave unto Yahuwah your Elohim are alive, every one of you this day. Hold what you got. Come on around here to Reverend. He said, those that cleave, right? What tribe will be for cleave then, gentlemen? There you go. There you go. Love will held it down for you. Levi. That's it. Look at little Mike gonna back him up. Levi. Levi. Revelation chapter 7. About verse 9. So remember, he that is joined unto the Lord is one spirit. Those that cleave to Yahuwah are going to be alive. They're going to dwell with him. He said, those of you that did, you alive this day. I'm sorry, I'm in Revelation 18. 79, Revelation. And after this I beheld and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. And again, you notice it again, it said nations, plural. But you notice all these people are with him. If they got white robes, you know they've been washed in the blood of the Lamb. You know what I'm talking about? That means they are alive that day, standing in the kingdom with the Father because they cleaved to him. They were joined to him. as we read earlier in Ephesians chapter 4. Joined up in him, growing up in him, fitly framed, joined together, put together, one body. That's the whole purpose why we here and why any other assembly and congregation of Yah in the four corners of the earth are gathered together for the whole purpose to come in the unity of the faith and to grow in the knowledge of a Mashiach to become a perfect individual. That's the whole purpose. So we can be standing there with that man with them white robes on and palms in your hands. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't cleave to the Son, you're not going to be left alive. It's not happening. You're going to have to join yourself to this man, which they don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Which means if you cleave with him, you're going to have to walk with him. He said, I'm the way, I'm the truth, and the life. And two can't walk together except they be agreed. If you cleave to him, you're going to walk with him. Because you're going to go everywhere he goes. Deuteronomy chapter 4, that's why we read last night. He said, where my servant is, he said, where I am, my servant will be also. A lot of people don't want to be where he is. I want a nigga trip me out. I'm going to go preach the gospel in the club tonight. Sure you are. I actually had a dude say, what's wrong with going to preach the word in the club? And I'm like, and you think somebody trying to hear you? So you worry about, I said, man, I ain't going to no club, nigga. So you worry about what people think. No, I know that people going to think that this nigga's full of crap. Because he's right in here with, that's what I said, man, when I was in the world, if I was in the club and a nigga tried to come preach the word to me, I'm going to look at this nigga like, nigga, why are you here? Because even if you in the world and you a sinner, you just already innately know. If anybody claim they follow this, it's just certain stuff I know you ain't supposed to be doing that.
You blowing my high.
Well, he ain't going to blow my high because I'm going to just smoke my weed right in front of him. I ain't even going to stop. You know what I'm saying? I done had the people come up talking, they be like, so are you gonna, no, I'm not going to put it out. You came infringing on my time. I didn't come looking for you. You in my face. I was smoking my black, my blunt, my cigarette, and I'm going to continue. You know what I'm saying? If you want to stay here and take in the smoke, by all means. I used to run them Christian people off by telling them I was a Muslim. That get them going. I'm telling you. That's how you get rid of them. You go to telling them you're a Muslim. They won't talk to you no more. When white folks get scared. Because they go to think about Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm X, they get scared. I know how to get you from around him. He's a rebel. I got to get you from around him. Come tell you, man, I'm tell you something, man. I ain't never felt, you can call it what you want, Roman Christianity, white European, I ain't never felt they pagan religion ever. I didn't want to hear it. I didn't want to hear nothing about it. I don't want to go to none of your services. I don't want none of your literature. I am good. You know what I'm saying? You can keep it. I've been a slave a long time, and you want to make me even more slave. I am good on that. You know, I know some of y'all ain't think twice about it. You know what I'm talking about? Because, hey, this is what everybody, I wasn't with it. I wasn't with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I read history books. You people are disturbing. And you want me to serve your God. He loves everybody. But you say you serve him, and this is what you do. I'm good. I'm serious, I'm good. I'm good. As a matter of fact, I'm outstanding. These are the same people that say, hey man, let's send these pagan beast souls to hell. These are the same people fighting crusades to take Jerusalem, just beheading people everywhere they went. You know what I'm saying? These are the same people that say we good Christians after they burnt you alive on Friday or on Saturday night at their little picnic. They in there praising Jesus on Sunday morning. You just burnt 6 niggas.
And selling you tickets for the next one.
You just beat 3 babies out of a woman's womb and stomped their brain out, and now you want me to come out here with you and say praise Jesus? Man, you can take your Jesus and do whatever you want to with it. You know what I'm saying? That's how I looked at it. You know what I'm saying? You can take your Jesus and do whatever you want to with it. I don't want your Jesus. You can keep your Jesus. You know, if we were to go out in front of these people right now and tell them you can keep your Jesus, but you say you believe in the Bible. I absolutely do. But how you don't believe in Jesus? Because he's a rotten, no good homosexual bastard. Y'all, am I lying though?
No, you're not.
We know Yahusha ain't none of those things. But we know Jesus like boys. You know what I'm saying? We know Jesus will kill his own family. We know Jesus will eat whatever, because guess what? The teaching that they come with Jesus, that's what he buy. And if that's what you say he teach, then that means that's what he buy. That means if he buy